So at the end of last video, we discussed how Sergeant Link signing in but not out was significant. And I will tell you why. I will tell you why this is significant. Link never signed in on November 5th, but on the stand he states that he got to the scene at 2 or 2:05 on the afternoon of November 5th of 2005. He says that he had no contact with the RAV4 and no contact with the blood vial at all, which is bullshit because we have a transfer of evidence log with his signature on it. So he did come in contact with it, and he's the only person that we know of that has come in contact with it since it was collected. Or at least post-conviction of the 1985 case. I'll put it that way. I'll be fair. I know how to be fair. The Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department doesn't know how to be fair. The state of Wisconsin doesn't know how to be fair, but I know how to be fair. Now, on cross-examination, defense counsel Strang brings up that on August 9th of 2006, during his deposition in this case, Lank had actually stated that he had arrived at the scene at 6:30 or 7 on the evening of November 5th of 2005. So in his deposition, he stated that he was there in the evening. On the stand, he says that he was there in the early afternoon. How do you get confused about some shit like that? Number one. And number two, I find it interesting that only after it's discovered that he is not signed in on the log anywhere, but he sure as fuck signed out, all of a sudden he was there before the log was started, not after. And if he was there after the log was started, which he himself has put himself at the scene of the crime scene, after the log was started in the evening, he didn't log into the sheriff's department log. That's fucking suspicious. So the fact that he's got this time discrepancy that he himself has put himself in is extremely interesting to me. Not to mention, that just by he's committed perjury at one point or another. And he fucking knows it. Now, folks, I've worked in the legal field for many years. And I've seen that it's standard procedure whereby if there is a log that is started after a certain time, you go around and you have everybody log in, sign the log with a approximate time of when they arrived. So even if he was there at 2:30-ish before the log was started, why wasn't it standard operating procedure at that point for the person starting the log to go around and ask everybody to sign in? What the fuck is going on here, folks? Now, Mike Halbach at the press conference, the press asked him, "Are you concerned?" At which point he swallows very hard and looks down and to the right. And before he looks up, he says, "No, I'm not concerned at all." And he keeps looking down. He's not wanting to look straight at the person because he feels like if he looks straight at the person, they can tell that he's lying. This is standard body language, people. I keep saying it. Body language never lies. Never lies. Now, the state got the FBI to create this test for EDTA, which I find interesting. Why Are you asking the feds to get involved in a state case? And why was a test created specifically for this if you didn't feel that something was off? Huh? Huh? Come on, folks. I can't be the only one doing the thinking here. Yes, I'm shifting and I've got a lot of stuff. There's something very wrong here. Now, the only other time that EDTA has been tested for in blood was during the O.J. Simpson trial. And I find it interesting. Again, a miracle always comes in when the state's case looks like it's about to fall down around its ears. First, first the key when they weren't finding anything else. And then, the bullet when they didn't have anything else. And then Brendan Dassey. And now the test for EDTA is suddenly a possibility. And Dr. LeBeau, I'm sorry, there is something very wrong with that boy. He's a very blinky guy. He blinks a lot when he's answering questions. And if you notice, he's blinking a lot specifically during the cross-examination by defense counsel. Body language. And he says that he was not able to ID EDTA in the swabs submitted. Okay, but how were your machines calibrated? See, that plays a big role in shit like this, folks. Big role. But the test hadn't been done in 10 years. So if this is not a test done all the time, how in the fuck all did they manage to do this test and say anything with any specificity? It doesn't make sense, folks. There's something wrong here with the way that all of this is being handled. Now, Janine Arviza is a lab data quality auditor. And she herself said that a problem occurs when EDTA is not detected because there was nothing specified in the reports as to the method detection limit. Meaning, to what limit is the machine testing? She says that it's quite possible that the samples came from the tube and that it simply was not detected by the lab. And she cannot definitively conclude that the swabs did not come from the tube. She definitively cannot conclude, meaning she cannot say for certain that those swabs did not come from that tube. Here's my thing though, folks. Why didn't the FBI take the tube and test a sample of the blood from there, since they know that that sample contains EDTA, and use that to calibrate the machines? Or did they? I don't remember seeing that anywhere in the report. Do you? Based off of the evidence presented in the trial up until this point, the defense files a motion to dismiss the charge of false imprisonment, and it is dismissed by Judge Willis, and that was the right call. But Mike, and then at that point, Stephen Avery declines to testify, which is his right. Mike then states to the press that it was counterintuitive. He felt that it was counterintuitive. And we're going to go ahead and talk about Mike's statements to the press in another video. But I find it interesting that he says he thinks he's been let out of prison once. He probably thinks it's going to happen again. Mike, he didn't talk his way out of prison the first time, dumbass. DNA fucking exonerated him. And it will do it again. Thank you for watching.